invocation. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please bow your heads. Dear Lord, we thank you for bringing us here tonight. We ask that you give this council the strength and the wisdom to do the right things for the great city of Newman. In this we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Okay. Could we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Davis.
Present.
Candia.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Martina.
Present.
Sorry. Councilmember Graham.
Here.
And Mayor Caden.
That's okay. Okay, declaration of conflict of interest. Being none. Ceremonial matters, none tonight. Items from the public, non-agenda items. If you have anything that you'd like to come before the council, now's the time to do it. Item 8, consent calendar. A, waive all readings of ordinance and resolutions except by title. B, approval of warrants. C, approval of minutes of the March 10th, 2015 meeting. D, adopt resolution number 2015 next number declaring certain personal properties surplus property and authorizing disposal and or sale of property. E, adopt resolution number 2015 next number authorizing a $5,000 matching fund donation to the Fall Festival organization for the restoration of the Fall Festival Miss Newman float.
I move that we approve the consent calendar.
Second.
Motion is made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay. Public hearing. Adopt resolution number 2015 next number, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Newman to vacate the section of Stanislaus Street located west of M Street and east of the Union Pacific Railroad. And this is a public hearing, so I'll open up to public for any comments at this time.
Mayor Pro Tem, I'll
sorry.
go ahead and do a report first, if you'd like, and then we
Oh,
can ask some
okay, I'm
questions,
sorry.
and then maybe
I'm
give the public an opportunity to speak after that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. In early February, the city received a request from a neighboring property owner, Mr. George Souza, who owns property on both sides of Stanislaus Street, which is east of M Street, and then, or west of M Street and east of the railroad track. There's a small section of Stanislaus Street that's in pretty poor condition at this particular point in time. Pursuant to that request, at your February 24th meeting, you passed a resolution initiating proceedings on the matter and directed staff to post a public hearing in the local newspaper, as well as to post it on the site in accordance with the California Streets and Highway Code. Both those things were done. Well, again, so the vacation of this portion of Stanislaus Street would fall under that section of the California Streets and Highway Code 88324B, which really, in summation, kind of reads that we need to have a public hearing, look at the evidence, hear testimony, and then make a determination of whether or not that easement and or right-of-way is necessary or unnecessary for the present and prospective public use. What we did as staff is we went back and looked at our general plan. Now, the general plan is basically your constitution for how the city's going to grow and how it's going to be governed. And we look at our circulation element, which is the layout of our streets and roadways. This particular section, or Stanislaus Street, is not considered an arterial, nor is it considered a collector street. And those are your main roadways that serve and move large sections of traffic. So this is a local street. In addition, we also looked at the city utility maps to see if there were any water, sewer, or storm drainage lines within that current right-of-way in that road portion of the roadway, and there are not. We looked at our city master plans to see if this was going to be needed to install any water, sewer, or storm drainage lines in that potential right-of-way, and there is not. One of the things that we also looked at is, what does this property serve as? Does it serve to connect two important pieces of area over there? Unfortunately, at this particular point in time, I think it was around 2010, the Union Pacific Railroad came in and put up barricades. So really, it's a dead-end road. that extends about 150 feet westward off of M Street, and it dead ends at the railroad track. So there is no value and there's no crossing over that would tie it into Highway 33 or even the west side of the railroad tracks. So at this point in time, that portion of Stanislaus Street is only there to serve as secondary access to the two properties that Mr. Souza currently owns, one on the north side and one on the south side. Primary access to those properties is off of M Street. So it only, again, will this section of Stanislaus serves as secondary access. So in reviewing all this information, staff is comfortable recommending that we go ahead and abandon and vacate that portion of Stanislaus Street and return it to private property. And then Mr. Souza would take half to each side of his property unless he elected to move all of it to one particular property. It would then be returned to the tax rolls, and the city would receive taxes on that and allow Mr. Souza, if he so desired, to develop that property. So with that, I can answer any questions, and as Mayor Pro Tem did mention, this is a public hearing.
Any questions from the council? Okay, then we're going to open to the public for any comments. There being none, I'll bring it back to the council for direction.
I move that we adopt resolution number 2015, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Newman to vacate that section of Stanislaus Street located west of M Street and east of Union Pacific Railroad.
I second that motion.
A motion's been made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. 10, regular business. Report on Newman Crow's Landing Unified School District event at the Downtown Plaza.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem Martina, council members. Tonight, the Newman Crow's Landing Unified School District has requested exclusive use of the Downtown Plaza on August 8th, 2015, from 9 to 1 p.m. to host a back-to-school informational event. They had originally wanted to utilize the 1300 block of Main Street as well, but later today, they decided they did not want to use that portion of roadway, so that will remain open for this event. Event organizers have partnered with the Family Resource Center to provide resource information to the community and specific back-to-school information, as well as additional services available through the district at this event. There will be music for the duration of the event, and of course, this will be a no alcohol event. There does not appear to be any conflicts with any events going on at this particular time frame. The district has made the following requests of the city: exclusive use of the plaza, use of the restroom facilities and electrical power at the location, and to waive standards for downtown events in the areas of the cleanup deposit, business licenses, should those vendors need those, insurance reduction from $3 million to $1 million, traffic control and crowd control devices, city barricades could be utilized, the hours for amplified music, and waive the restroom and electrical power use fees for the location. All of their standards for downtown events would apply, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions for Officer Short?
Why would we be lowering the insurance?
The $1 million, I understand, is an easier insurance policy for them to attain as opposed to the $3 million policy.
Any other questions? Thank you. Now, bring it back to the council for direction.
I make a motion that the city council approve the Newman Crow's Landing Unified School District event scheduled at the Downtown Plaza on Saturday, August 8th, 2015, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
I'll second it.
Motion been made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Regular business, B, adopt resolution number 2015, next number, a resolution awarding a bid for the CDBG Waterline Improvement Project.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and members of the City Council. Before you is the bid award for the CDBG Waterline Improvement Project. The project was originally identified in the fiscal year 13-14 annual action plan. Engineering was completed for the project last fiscal year, and now we're at the second phase of the CDBG project. ergo the first phase of construction for the water line improvements. The improvements will include water lines and hydrant replaces within the CDBG project area. Project bids were advertised on March 5th, 12th, and 19th. Bids were opened yesterday at 2 p.m. The lowest bidder was Rolf Construction in the amount of $97,100. An updated resolution and bid tabulation sheet has been placed before you on the dais. The city engineer has reviewed the bid and deemed it to be complete and satisfactory, and has recommended award of the project to Rolf Construction. So therefore, staff recommends that the city council adopt resolution 2015 next to number, awarding the water line improvements project to Rolf Construction. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Steph?
Yeah, I have two questions.
Yes.
Reading over the bids,
Mhm.
it appears that our city engineers, as well as Wagner, estimated that replacing one of the fire hydrants, it's item number 5, at being 10,000, that's pretty accurate, and Rolfel, I don't know how to say their name.
Yeah, Rolf, I think.
Is 50%
Yes.
less, which seems kind of excessive. And then also on line 6, they're quite a bit less than the bid that the city engineer has, as well as Wagner. So I guess my concern is that these aren't going, the quality of the equipment they're going to be putting in. Is this was the bid out for all the same style of equipment, same style of fire
Yes.
hydrants? Because I want to make sure the equipment's quality
course.
when we need it.
The way contract code requires is we cannot ever specify a specific brand. We can't say we need brand ABC of this, but you can say brand ABC or equivalent. And they have to prove via, whether it be submittals from the manufacturer or testing from a third-party agency, that they are structurally the same. So, and that is all part of the review, and they're actually going to do submittals as part of the pre-bid process and the mobilization, where we confirm again that everything is what we specified or equivalent and has the information to back that up.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Stephanie? Thank you, Stephanie. Okay, bring it back to the council for direction.
I move that we adopt resolution number 2015, a resolution awarding a bid for the CDBG water line improvement project.
I second that motion.
Motion been made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 11, from District 5, Stanislaus County Supervisor, Mr. Jim D. Martini.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem Martina, council members. But you guys sure move things along here. I just love coming here. I just have a few things for you tonight. On the Healthcare Task Force, our next meeting is going to be April 23rd, right here in Newman, in what I call your old council chambers. And I know you got another name for it, but anyway, it's where we're going to meet there at 6 o'clock on April 23rd. The task force now is working with faith-based nonprofits, along with the other groups that we've always worked with, like the school districts, healthcare professionals, and the business community. We are trying to set up some health screening with Sutter Gould, and it's actually Sutter Health, doing the screening at Von Hausen, or Von Renner, the school. They have a motor home now, and they're just getting ready to put that thing out on the road, so we're working with them to do some screening here in Newman for younger school children. And then we're working with another group to do a cooking class, how to cook healthy. A lot of people really don't know how to do that, so everything would be free and provided by the Healthcare Task Force and our partners on these projects. Also, we are beginning to set up excuse me, our health summit. It will be on August 20th, which will be Thursday at noon at the West Side Theater, assuming that it's available. And we will have a speaker plus our vendors and the Biggest Loser contest again this year. So maybe Newman can put together 10 people and perhaps win this year. They did win one time, and I forget which year it was. But anyway, that's coming along in its early stages now. And so we're doing a lot of good things now, and glad to have Newman as a good partner in his efforts. County, on other issues, the county continues to work on water policy. It's a big issue here in this county because of the very severe shortage of irrigation water. I have met along with Supervisor Grover this week with the MID and Del Puerto irrigation districts trying to move water from one part of the county to another. Tomorrow I have a meeting with El Soyo irrigation district. In order to just get by this year, all these irrigation districts are going to have to start working together. They have done some in the past, but water transfers and water conveyance systems are kind of tied together. And to move water, for instance, out of Oakdale over to Patterson, you know, you can do it, but it takes cooperation between several irrigation districts to make that a reality. So anyway, that's what we're working on. And the last thing I have tonight is just to tell everybody, the LAFCO will meet tomorrow night, which would be Wednesday at 6 o'clock, and we will be discussing what I consider relatively minor change to the ag preservation policy, specifically on calculating the value of in lieu of fees for mitigation for residential development. Industrial development is exempt from this. That meeting will be tomorrow night. And that's all I have.
Any questions for the supervisor?
Okay?
Thank you, Jim. Thank you very much. Yeah, we move along fast.
Oh, I tell you, you gotta come to Patterson with me.
No. I don't even know where that's at. I'm sorry, Patterson. Anyway, items from the city council and staff?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, Mayor, members of the council, excuse me. Just a quick update. Last night we had a community committee meeting. We're making progress. They came with a recommendation to the council for a funding vehicle. At this particular point in time, the funding vehicle we're exploring and going to bring to the council for consideration would be a community facilities district. And that's a mechanism that allows you to collect a tax or an assessment, if you will. It's essentially a tax for certain projects that are identified in the goals and policies of the community facility district. But prior to getting there, you need to do a financial plan. You need to develop goals and policies, as well as, initiate proceedings and do all the resolutions. And then ultimately, you need to go to the citizens for a vote and get 2/3 in order to do that. So, as we continue to dial down on this particular project, and when I say dial down, we started up really high and just talking about projects and an overall vision of what we wanted to accomplish as a committee. And then as we got more and more direction from the committee, staff continues to evaluate options and financing plans and digging deeper into the numbers. And so a community facility district would also allow 2 separate revenue streams. One would be for construction, the other would be for maintenance and capital repairs that are necessary. It's extremely short-sighted if you build something, but you don't create the revenue stream to maintain it over the long run, and ultimately you find something in disrepair. So we're trying to take a proactive approach as we move forward, and a holistic approach as we present something to the council. So you can look forward to, at your next meeting on April 14th, we'll probably have we will have a recommendation from the community committee to this council. With that, just 2 separate little things. We're nearing, and I would suspect at your second meeting in April, we will have a new solid waste agreement with the county presented to you. The county has reached tentative agreement with all the cities, I think, with the exception of one who has elected to choose an outside provider. So the city of Newman, we think that we're going to be going to the Fink Road facility anyways, so this actually works out better for our residents. And then lastly, last Saturday was opening day for baseball. So now throughout the week and on Saturdays, you can go out to the ballpark and get a hot dog or a hamburger, or I know Bob loves the linguiça sandwiches, so you can get one of those as well. So, and enjoy a little bit of t-ball. or, fast pitch softball, whatever you fancy. So with that, I can answer any questions that you may have.
Any question? Mike, I had one. We had awarded a landscaping contract last meeting,
Yes.
and I was wondering, have they started yet?
Yeah, we're dotting the i's and crossing the t's. I
Okay.
would imagine we're going to be doing that.
Yeah.
You should be seeing them out shortly, if not soon. So
Okay.
I can send out an email to you and let you know where that status is tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, staff?
Nothing tonight?
Sorry?
Nothing tonight.
Nothing. Good evening. I have just one quick update on Sherman Ditch because it's an ongoing process to maintain along the Sherman Ditch. As I mentioned last council meeting, the city staff cleaned the Sherman Ditch as well as we started trimming and removing the tree between Southington Avenue and Burrington Avenue, where no house is behind the sound wall. So far, we found that pine tree looks like very difficult to remove, but it is found that it's way easier to remove because the root is kind of very shallow. So we are trying to find our staff's capability to remove the trees. Otherwise, we need to make a contract out for those activities in the future. So we are keep working on the maintenance as well as removing the tree for the community. Happy to answer to any question you may have.
I had one question. I was walking along.
Yes.
Not Hills Ferry, but Sherman Parkway.
Yes.
I noticed looked like a tree had been cut and then just
Yes.
left in there.
Every month, like end of the month, there is the cleaning the schedule. So we are expecting to remove all those trees on the roadway next Tuesday.
Yeah, it looked real nice. There was one tree had been cut down and it was
Yes.
just laying there.
Yeah. So we keep working on that, but next week, those the cut trees will be removed
Okay.
as a schedule.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And items from the council members? Casey?
I just had a question or concern. East India Road at Canal School Road, there's a large, actually huge pothole.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very, very, very bad.
Yes.
Is there how far out are we on repairing that road? I know it's a lot of big rigs travel that road and things like that.
Yes. There's a several plans, short-term plan, long-term plan. Let me explain a little bit about the background. The roadway, we know that there's a concern because the pothole might create some issue because still people driving really fast along the Canal School Road at night. So our staff filled the pothole several times, but however, during the daytime, the big trailer heading to the cheese factory just make a big ton. It's almost 80,000 pounds. Mostly is remove old brand new the filling. So long term, the plan to remove that issue is that several years ago, the city staff worked with the Stancock to secure some funding to improve the areas. It is scheduled about $8 million project. But however, we made the decision that rather than waiting like 10 years to secure $8 million for that entire improvement for that region, so we made the decision that we can secure up to $500,000 and then improve the intersection area only first so that we can improve the public safety first. So we expecting that we can secure up to $500,000 next fiscal year. So we are working with the Stanco at this point.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilmember Graham, in addition, we're working with the property owner there. There may be some potential development that may occur in that particular area there. So what we would do is leverage the money we have with some of the developers' money that come in there and maybe expand the scope of work to get more value for the dollar. So
Yeah. Well, I know that area has always been kind of a little rough, but right now there's a hole that you flip over a VW Bug in there, it would be smooth to drive over at that point.
Yeah.
and we'll get some cold mix and put it in there.
It's pretty good size. The other thing I had was Adam Gray stopped in town the other day, this week, and we went down, met with him. Kim was down there, and Mike was down there. It was a pretty good meeting. Just, he went over, talked with the community, There's a handful of people there. Main concerns seem to be the water issue is the biggest thing on the table. That's about all I have.
Very good, thank you, Casey. Roberta?
I don't have anything.
Yeah.
Nothing tonight.
Okay, I'd just like to mention, we have what we call two-on-two with two council members and the city schools. We get together, our city manager and also the district manager of Gross Landing. And our last meeting was at the high school. I have to tell you, we had a great tour. And I think it was an eye-opener as far as being able to look at the campus and see, it was after school, of course, but to see what they have available, the classrooms and what they're doing. And it's really impressive that the city of Newman has a school like Orstemba you can tell from just looking around the school, everyone's very proud of the school, and I was just very impressed. But I just think we should be very proud and pleased to have a high school like Orstemba in Newman. But and that's the only comments I have tonight. And with that, I'll ask for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion, second. Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you.